Oh, this is such a good game, Kermie. What would you like us to put down next? Let's have a look. Oh, you've got the orange strips. Okay then, what you want me to put a long one down by the yellow. Okay, there we go. Okay, and you want, oh, we're going to put all three down. Let's have a look, shall we? Right, should we put that one down there then? So that's just made one triangle. But if we put another one down, what about that, Kermie? Then we've made 1, 2, 3 triangles. Gosh, that's looking really good. We've got lots more strips that we can use too. And what are these guys doing over here? Wow, they're looking busy, aren't they? Let's have a peep. Oh, right, okay. That one's Ernie's. What's Bert? Oh, Bert's in the middle of that one. And oh gosh, look at Cookie Monsters. That's brilliant, isn't it? Right, okay, so I think we're going to stop this game for a minute and then have a look and see what the other ones are up to. Well, that was a good game with the strips of paper, wasn't it? And the rule was that you could put down as many as 3 strips each time and see how many triangles you could add onto the pattern that we were making on the floor. So you could play that at home, couldn't you? You just need strips or pick up sticks or anything. If they're different lengths, and it makes it a bit more challenging, and see how many triangles you can make. Right, well, I set the puppets a little bit of a challenge before we started today, and they got to try and draw something that begins with I. We've had triangles, haven't we? Let's see what they've come up with. Did you have a little peep earlier? Can you remember what they were drawing? Let's have a look. Right, wow. Cookie Monster. That's absolutely brilliant drawing, isn't you, Cookie Monster? Worked really hard at his one. Should we see what it is? Wow. You guess. It's Triceratops. So I wonder if Cookie Monster knows why Triceratops is called that. Ah, he's got it right because he's got 3 horns, and tri is the root word for 3, isn't it? Just like triangle. So well done, Cookie Monster. Brilliant picture. Oh, he said that he copied it out of a book, but even so, I think that's fantastic. Well done, you. Did you get a little peep at Bert's one? Bert's one looked good, didn't it? He had some animals in it, didn't he? Let's have a look, Bert. Ooh. Right, might need a little bit of help with this one. So we've got 1, 2, 3. So like a triangle, 3 things, but they're 3 sheep. Ooh, this is a bit tricky. What could it be? Do you know? Ah, right, hang on. Ernie's going to give us a clue. They all look the same. Oh, look the same. Oh. Ah, they've got the same mother and they were born at the same time. So they are triplets. Is that right? It is right. Oh, brilliant drawing. Well done. Because we can have triplet children as well, can't we? let's have a look and see what Bert's drawn, shall we? Bert usually has lots of good ideas. So, oh, that's another. That's quite easy, isn't it? Because we've just drawn a triangle. Well, we sort of knew triangle though, Bert, didn't we? Oh, he says it's a special triangle. Ah, I see now. It's a musical instrument triangle, isn't it? That was good thinking. Yeah, I can see there's the beater. There's the string on the top to hold it by. It makes a really good tinging sound, doesn't it? Oh, well done you. Now I've got some here. I wonder if you and the puppets can guess. Guess it's upside down, will you? Ooh, now this one's a little bit harder. It's somebody swimming, somebody riding a bike, somebody running. It's the same person, I think. Oh, Hermie's got an idea. Oh, he thinks it's trying hard. Oh, that does begin with a sort of a try sound. It's not trying hard, but that's a very good try. It's triathlon. So he's a triathlete. So first of all, you have to swim, and then straight away you have to get on your bike and cycle, and then you have to run. So you need a lot of energy to do that one. Look at another one. This one's quite tricky. Oh, what does Cookie wants to say? Oh, he doesn't think I'm very good at drawing. Well, it isn't that good a picture, is it? It's not an easel, no. It's this bit here that we're looking at, actually. And this is a smartphone, or it could be a camera. And it's standing on a tripod. It's got 3 legs to hold the camera steady so that you can do your filming. Wasn't a very good picture though, was it? And my last one, which I copied out of a book as well, tricky to draw. Yeah, I think we've all got this one. How many wheels has it got? 1, 2, 3. It's a tricycle. That's what we learn to ride before we use a bike sometimes, don't we? Because it's a bit easier. So they all begin with try. Now, do you know, there are so many words that begin with try. Most of them I don't understand. But why are we looking at those today? Well, today we're looking at them because it's a really special day in the church's calendar. And it's going to begin with try, but we're going to say it slightly differently. So it's Trinity Sunday. Now, you might have heard of the Trinity, and actually, if you go to church, you'll hear the Trinity mentioned all the time in church. So the Trinity is made up of 3, I nearly said 4, of 3 things. Trinity is made up of God, Jesus, and the Holy Spirit. So very often you'll hear the priest say, or we will say in prayers, in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. And we remember 3 in 1 on Trinity Sunday. And that's a really special thing to be remembering on that day. So before we started doing this, the puppet said, but why do we have to have 3 different things in one? Why is God just not enough? Well, it's a really good question, actually, and it's quite difficult to answer it, perhaps. Um, so I've got something here that Kermie's been looking after for me, and he's resisted the temptation to eat it so far. And it's an apple, and this might help us to understand it. So let's have a look. So we look at the apple, we see that the apple, God, and it is Jesus, the Son, and it is the Holy Spirit all together in one. And if we cut it in half, we'll be able to see what each part stands for. So there we have it. Now, on the outside of the apple, we've got the skin, and the skin sort of represents God. God, who made everything, the whole of creation, showed his love for us by making us all and everything in the world, and then he protected us, keeps us safe, and that's what the skin does. And then inside the skin, we've got what we call the flesh of the apple, the juicy part of the apple. And when Jesus came down to earth, we say that he came in the flesh, and that means he came as a real person. So God showed his love for us by sending his only Son down to earth to live as man. And why did he do that? Well, God wanted to show us that he loved us so much that he was willing to put his Son on earth and to put himself and Jesus through all the emotions that human beings feel. They feel happiness, but they also feel pain and sorrow when Jesus died. But then he rose again from the dead, didn't he? And then he gave us everlasting life, and he is always with us, and we are always with him. And Jesus gave us a glimpse of what God is really like. And he also showed us how we should behave towards each other, how we should love one another and care for each other. And then right in the middle, we've got the core, and in the core, we've got some seeds. The seeds are like the Holy Spirit. So the seeds will grow into more apples if we plant them. So the Holy Spirit was given to us and is inside each one of us so that we can try and carry out all the things that Jesus showed us when he was on earth. So we've got God, the Son, and we've got the Holy Spirit. So we're so lucky, aren't we, that God loved us so much that he's given us all those things to help us to enjoy the world and to enjoy each other too. Now, usually I show you something to make, don't I? And I have got something that would help us to remember all of those things. Here we are. And we've got Ernie wearing one on his arm. I wonder if you spotted it earlier on. And it's a little friendship bracelet. And it's made out of 3 strands. And I'm going to show you how to make that in a minute so that will remind you of Trinity and what that stands for. So to make the friendship bracelets, you'll need 3 different colour wools. So one for the Father, one for the Son, and one for the Holy Spirit. And then you need to cut some pieces of wool so that they're the same length. So you need to sort of think what size the person's wrist is that you're going to make your bracelet for, and then you just need to knot them together at the top. Now if you've got somebody really kind in your house, they will need to hold the ends for you so that you can do this. Now I'm by myself today, so I'm going to tie it onto my chair so that it's still. Hopefully you'll be able to see. So we're going to plait it. Plaiting's quite easy. So you're always bringing one of the strands into the middle. So that's blue in the middle, and then pink goes into the middle, then the white, then the blue, then the pink, then the white, and they join together to make one really strong piece of wool, one thread. Now, it's very easy for you to see, but perhaps you can get the idea. As I say, if you've got thicker wool, it's a teeny weeny bit easier. There we are. They're joined together as one. Can you see that in there? It's really strong. Look, it's held together there now. You need to keep plaiting it until you've got more or less the size that you want, and then just tie it in a knot at the end, and then you can tie it around your own wrist or somebody else's, whoever you've chosen to make it for. So that's it for today. I think, oh, can you spot what I can spot? I think, yeah, I think Hermie's been at the apple again. So I think I'm going to need to chop this up and let everybody have a piece. But I hope you remember everything that we've talked about today. Perhaps you'll have a go with the triangles or with the plaiting, or even think of your own words that begin with try. See if you can find some tricky ones. Bye.